From the moment you were born, you were part of their game. A game where your mind is molded by powerful forces that have honed their methods over generations. Your subconscious is not just influenced, it's programmed and controlled. The reality you experience, the goals you pursue, the fears you harbor, they're a carefully crafted illusion, not of your making, but by governments, corporations, and media. They've mastered the art of subconscious programming, embedding ideas, limits, and desires into your mind without you even realizing it. Your subconscious, which dictates 95% of your thoughts and actions, absorbs everything like a sponge. It's the reason you scroll through your phone late at night, buy things you don't need, and accept ideas you've never questioned. They understand this and exploit it, controlling your decisions, big and small, through notifications, headlines, and fleeting ads. These fragments of control accumulate, shaping your reality to fit their vision. This isn't just influence, it's domination. Every time they capture your attention, they rewrite who you are. You didn't choose this, but you don't have to live this way. You can reclaim control, see the strings, and wake up from their illusion. Before you could even write your name, your mind was being coded. Between ages 0 and 7, your brain operates in a state where your subconscious readily obeys. Fairy tales, cartoons, lullabies, they weren't just stories, they were programming sequences. Stay within the lines, don't question authority, fear the unknown. These were chains binding your subconscious. These phrases echoed a system designed to ensure compliance. Governments, corporations, and media understood that controlling your parents' thoughts meant controlling you. Advertisements targeted you with sugary cereals and toys, not because you had buying power, but because your mind was vulnerable. Hook you young, and you'll crave their products and ideals for life. By age 7, your core beliefs about money, success, and self-worth were set. The foundation of your reality, the limits you perceive as unchangeable, were laid down. Fairy tales instilled fear and submission, teaching you to stay safe, trust authority, and avoid straying too far. Your childhood wasn't just learning, it was conditioning. This conditioning persists. As an adult, you might hesitate to take risks, doubt your worth, or chase goals that don't resonate with you. You might feel trapped in a life that feels more like a script than a choice. But this isn't your fault. Your subconscious simply absorbed the rules, fears, and limits designed to keep you in line. Stanford research indicates that 90% of childhood beliefs remain unless actively rewritten. They aim to shape your mind when you're young, because controlling your beliefs negates the need to control your actions. You'll comply willingly. But there's hope. Your subconscious can be reprogrammed. Now that you recognize how the programming began, let's examine how it continues daily, and delve deeper into the role technology and media play in this process. Modern technology has become an insidious tool for subconscious manipulation, blurring the lines between convenience and control. Smartphones, with their constant notifications and addictive apps, are designed to hijack your attention, fragmenting your focus and leaving you vulnerable to suggestion. Every vibration, every ping is a carefully calculated trigger, pulling you back into the digital realm and reinforcing the cycle of dependence. AI-powered algorithms track your every online move, creating an eerily accurate digital profile of your desires, fears, and vulnerabilities. This data is then weaponized to influence your choices, from the products you buy to the information you consume. Have you ever noticed how an ad for something you were just thinking about seems to magically appear on your screen? This isn't coincidence. It's the result of sophisticated algorithms designed to predict and manipulate your behavior. Surveillance technology further amplifies this control. Cameras track your movements, facial recognition software identifies you in crowds, and your online activity is constantly monitored. This creates an environment of subtle pressure, where the feeling of being watched can unconsciously influence your behavior and limit your willingness to express dissent or deviate from the norm. This constant surveillance fosters a sense of self-censorship, as individuals become hesitant to express opinions or engage in activities that might be deemed undesirable by the unseen observers. This chilling effect can stifle creativity, critical thinking, and ultimately individual freedom. It's the digital equivalent of the panopticon, a prison design where inmates are constantly under surveillance, leading to self-regulation and conformity. The media, once a source of information, has become a master of psychological manipulation. Through carefully crafted narratives, they shape public perception, often promoting fear, division, and conformity. Framing, a technique where stories are presented within a specific context to influence interpretation, is rampant. Headlines are designed to trigger emotional responses, bypassing critical thinking and making you more susceptible to their message. For instance, a story about a protest could be framed as a riot or a peaceful demonstration, significantly altering the reader's perception of the event. The words chosen, the images shown, and the tone used all contribute to shaping your understanding of the event before you even have a chance to form your own opinion. Repetition is another powerful tool. By repeating the same narratives and slogans, they embed them deep into your subconscious, making them seem like unquestionable truths. Think about how often you hear phrases like economic growth or national security used to justify policies that may be detrimental to the majority. This constant repetition creates an illusion of consensus, making it difficult to question these narratives. Selective reporting further distorts reality, highlighting stories that support their agenda while burying those that don't. This creates an echo chamber where dissenting voices are silenced and the dominant narrative reigns supreme. You are presented with a limited view of the world, one that reinforces their agenda and discourages critical thinking. The media also employs subtle tactics like the use of emotionally charged language, imagery, and music to influence your emotional state and sway your opinion. They create heroes and villains, simplifying complex issues and encouraging you to take sides. This manipulation can lead to polarized opinions and social division, preventing meaningful dialogue and collective action. By playing on your emotions, they bypass your rational mind and manipulate you into accepting their narrative. The cumulative effect of these techniques is a distorted reality where your perception of the world is filtered through the lens of their agenda. You become a passive consumer of information, accepting their version of truth without question. Recognizing these subtle forms of control is the first step towards reclaiming your mind. By becoming aware of the tactics used to manipulate your subconscious, you can begin to resist their influence. This involves actively engaging with the information you consume, questioning the narratives presented, and seeking out diverse perspectives to counter the effects of media bias and propaganda. Don't just accept what you're told. Dig deeper, explore different viewpoints, and form your own conclusions. Furthermore, it is crucial to limit your exposure to technology, particularly the addictive nature of social media and other attention-grabbing apps. Consciously choose to step away from the screen, to disconnect from the constant stream of information and stimulation. Instead, prioritize activities that promote mindfulness and critical thinking, such as reading books, engaging in meaningful conversations, and spending time in nature. These practices can help you develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and cultivate a more discerning mind. By reconnecting with yourself and the world around you, you can begin to break free from the digital chains that bind you. In addition, fostering digital literacy is essential in navigating the complexities of the online world. By understanding how algorithms work and how your data is being used, you can become a more conscious consumer of digital content. Be aware of the techniques used to manipulate your online experience, such as personalized ads and filter bubbles, which can limit your exposure to diverse viewpoints and reinforce existing biases. Take control of your online experience by actively seeking out information from various sources, challenging your own assumptions, and engaging in respectful dialogue with those who hold different perspectives. Supporting independent media is another vital step in breaking free from the control of mainstream narratives. Seek out news sources that prioritize truth and objectivity over sensationalism and profit. These independent outlets often provide a more balanced perspective and challenge the dominant narratives propagated by corporate media. By supporting independent journalism, you contribute to a more diverse and informed media landscape. Finally, cultivate critical thinking skills to effectively analyze information, identify biases, and form your own opinions. This involves questioning assumptions, evaluating evidence, and considering alternative interpretations. By developing these skills, you can become a more discerning consumer of information and resist the subtle influences that seek to shape your beliefs and behaviors. Critical thinking empowers you to take control of your own mind and make informed decisions based on reason and evidence, rather than succumbing to emotional manipulation and propaganda. Imagine scrolling through your phone after work. A headline flashes, economic crisis looms, triggering anxiety. Then an ad appears, urging you to invest in gold for protection. In seconds, your emotions are hijacked. Fear makes you receptive to their suggestions. They create the problem and sell you the solution. This is precision-engineered manipulation, occurring countless times daily. Every app, news article, notification, they're all puzzle pieces designed to control your attention. Your attention is the leash that binds you to their system. Fear is their weapon, and headlines deliver the blow. Fear paralyzes critical thinking, making your subconscious crave safety. That's when their narrative seeps in. Then come the ads. Algorithms don't just predict your desires, they create them, planting ideas so subtly that you believe they're your own. Even notifications act as psychological triggers, tapping into your brain's reward system. Every tap reinforces a habit, training your mind to seek their content. They're not just after your attention, they're after your identity. You're not just buying a product, you're buying a version of yourself. Cooler, smarter, more successful. But that idealized version remains elusive, ensuring you keep chasing, spending, and conforming. Streaming platforms trap you for hours with autoplay, not to entertain, but to make you passive consumers. The average person spends nearly 5 hours daily consuming media, over 76 days a year glued to a screen. You're not just watching, you're being trained to remain hooked. Social media isn't just a platform, it's a lab. Endless scrolling keeps you controlled. Ads appear for things you merely thought about. It's not magic, it's manipulation. Even education isn't safe. Memorization is prioritized over critical thinking, producing obedient workers, not challengers. The grading system rewards conformity, not creativity. Manipulation extends to language. Collateral damage sanitizes the death of innocent people. Restructuring efforts masks mass layoffs. The news labels protests as riots, pushing a narrative before you form your own opinion. Every word, image, and sound aims to control not just what you think, but how you think. You're not just a target, you're a participant. Every online click, share, or post reinforces their system. You're shaping the collective reality unknowingly. They're terrified of empowered minds because empowered minds question systems. They want you focused on paying taxes, not questioning the system's existence. But there's a way out. Awareness is your weapon. Once you see the game, you can break free. The conditioning follows you everywhere. The workplace, your routines, your mindset. Scarcity is their oldest trick. There's never enough money, time, or resources. But who benefits from you believing that? The most effective cage is the one you can't see. The one built in your mind with ingrained beliefs, habits, and routines. You're told that working 40 hours a week for 40 years, investing in the stock market, and living frugally will lead to a comfortable retirement. It's a trap, designed to keep you stuck while the system thrives on your labor. You're told to sacrifice your best years for a paycheck, invest it, and hope it grows. But who benefits most? The system. Your pension isn't guaranteed. Corporations can cut it, governments can default, and economies can collapse. The safety net you rely on might vanish when you need it most. Inflation can erode your savings. Decades of stress could lead to health problems before you even reach retirement. The system isn't built for your freedom. It's built to keep you enslaved. Even if you reach retirement, you might be too tired to enjoy it. True wealth isn't in your bank account. It's in your freedom to choose how to spend your day, prioritize your health, nurture relationships, and pursue your passions. You've been conditioned to believe success is measured in dollars, but true success is living in alignment with your highest self, free from fear, scarcity, and limitation. Debt is another weapon of control. From the moment you enter adulthood, you're offered debt disguised as opportunity. Student loans, mortgages, they tie you to the system. Miss a payment, and they take it all. Debt makes you obedient, less likely to take risks or speak out. You settle for jobs you hate because you need the paycheck to survive. Debt isn't just about money, it's about energy. When you owe someone, they occupy space in your mind and soul, stealing your focus, creativity, and peace. The system thrives on debt because it keeps you small, focused on survival, not growth. But what if you reclaimed that energy? What if you chose simplicity, not out of lack, but out of abundance? Abundance of clarity, freedom, and space to grow. The richest people didn't get there by working harder. The hardest working people, nurses, teachers, construction workers, barely scrape by. The system pushes the hard work narrative because it keeps you enslaved to your 9 to 5. True wealth is time. Every dollar you spend can be earned back, but every hour you spend is gone forever. How many people spend 40+ hours a week at jobs they hate to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like? True wealth is the freedom to decide how to spend your day, prioritize your health, relationships, and passions. Stop trading your life for a paycheck to buy things you don't need. Start asking yourself if you're building a life rich in spirit, joy, and connection, or just surviving. To understand the ingrained control, we need to discuss language. Words are spells, and every time you speak, you cast them. Advertisement comes from the Latin advertere, to turn towards. Every ad redirects your consciousness, your energy. Contracts are binding spells. I agree binds you to their system. Government means to control the mind. Authority is the power to author reality. They're not just controlling you, they're writing your story. Television programs your vision from afar. Program means to write forward, shaping your thoughts and actions. News symbolizes control over your understanding of the world. Mortgage is a death pledge. Pharmacy stems from the Greek pharmakia, meaning sorcery. These aren't just words, they're embedded instructions shaping how you think, feel, and interact with the world. Each word reinforces ideas, norms, and systems designed to keep you aligned with their script. Phrases like, I'm under the weather, I'm going through something, I have to do this, and I can't afford that, reinforce limitation, struggle, and helplessness. Every time you utter them, you reinforce these ideas, embedding them deeper into your subconscious. But language can also set you free. By changing your words, you rewrite your mental programming. Language isn't just communication, it's creation. Choosing your words intentionally is the first step toward reclaiming your power and designing your reality. Shift your language. Instead of I have to, say I choose to. Instead of I can't afford it, ask, how can I create this? Instead of I'm trying, say I am doing. Each shift breaks another chain, creating cracks in their control system. To break free from their linguistic prison, you need to understand how words interact with frequencies. They're waging a frequency war against your consciousness. In 1939, music tuning was standardized to 440 Hz, replacing the natural harmony of 432 Hz. 432 Hz resonates with the Earth's frequencies, aligning with the human body, DNA, and water. It creates harmonious patterns. But at 440 Hz, these patterns distort, stress hormones rise, clarity diminishes. Every electronic device emits frequencies designed to keep you in a specific state. Wi-Fi routers disrupt sleep, smart meters increase anxiety, cell phones fragment concentration, televisions induce trance-like states. You're bombarded with artificial frequencies that clash with your body's natural rhythm. They disrupt your brain waves, suppressing creativity and focus while inducing fatigue and anxiety. They form a frequency fence, confining your consciousness. Contrast this with the Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural frequency of 7.83 Hz. This is the vibration of nature, the rhythm your brain produces in deep meditation. Aligning with this frequency through grounding, nature immersion, or specific soundscapes reconnects you with harmony. They keep you disconnected from nature. Cities have minimal green spaces, your schedule keeps you indoors, and every moment of stillness is interrupted. This prevents you from tapping into the frequency that empowers you, but your natural frequency is stronger. Human consciousness, aligned with natural frequencies, can override disruptions. This is why practices like meditation, energy healing, and sound baths are mocked by mainstream culture. They dismantle the control grid. When you align with the Earth's frequency, your stress decreases, your focus sharpens, and you feel peace and clarity. They fear this because when you're aligned with your authentic self, their systems lose power. Their fear-driven narratives crumble. Their manipulations become ineffective. You become unshakable. Reclaiming your frequency is crucial to regaining control over your subconscious and reality. But you're constantly monitored and manipulated. Every online interaction feeds an algorithm that knows your patterns better than you do. They fear your ability to tune into your natural frequency because it renders their systems powerless. Their manipulations become ineffective, and you become unshakable. Reclaiming your frequency is a powerful step toward regaining control. These systems don't just react, they predict. Feeling restless? They'll push vacation ads. Having a rough day? Here comes a comfort food ad. Every interaction deepens their understanding, molding your subconscious to serve them. Loyalty cards aren't just about discounts. They're about data. Retailers track every purchase, building a profile of your habits and vulnerabilities. Dynamic pricing manipulates your perception of value. Flight prices skyrocket when you're desperate. They're scripting your choices. The news thrives on fear, keeping you glued to the screen. The world always seems on the brink of collapse. It's not accidental. They want you to feel powerless, dependent on their guidance. They influence your perception of the world through subtle nudges. Over time, these manipulations accumulate, shaping your beliefs and decisions. Your sense of self becomes theirs. The solution? Break the illusion of self-improvement. The idea that you need fixing is their greatest illusion. True self-improvement isn't about fixing, it's about understanding. When you look within, everything changes. You stop chasing perfection and realize your inherent power. Self-understanding unlocks your ability to create, transform, and manifest your desires. You're not a problem to solve, you're a limitless soul. Your self-concept isn't fixed, you can choose who you want to be. Self-improvement isn't about conforming, it's about self-creation. You gain the power to see beyond your fears and conditioning, creating from a place of clarity and alignment. Every day is a chance to step into the version of you that aligns with your highest vision. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to know yourself. When you know who you are, you can create anything. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to uncover about the system of control. If you've made it this far, you're starting to see the invisible prison they built in your mind. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's been asking questions, someone who senses something isn't right with the world. Knowing about the system is the first step to breaking free. You've begun to see the strings. In the next video, you'll learn how to cut them.